Make up a story
Wow.
Podcast.
Hola y bienvenidos a Make Up a Story Podcast. ¿Qué tal, Brandon? ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, además hoy tenemos un invitado especial y queremos que venga y hable con nosotros.
¿Qué tal,
Sí.
Charlie? It's so weird to do it in Spanish.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot.
No,
I
no, no.
genuinely cannot.
We never thought about doing it in Spanish.
I just
but-
had this flashback when I was like leaving my place on the bike, and I was like, Charlie might be like hating us for this.
For a minute,
but
I thought you were going to do the whole thing in Spanish, and I was just going to sit here and just nod my head the entire
Just
time.
nod
Like, yeah,
for-
yeah, that's.
She wrote me a
30
text like
minutes.
half an hour ago and she was like,
Yeah.
oh, you should do it in Spanish.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know some Spanish.
Yeah, from our Canary Island days.
Can you
when we
check my
went.
Sorry.
Why?
Because you just moved it.
I didn't move anything.
Yes, you did move my camera. Hi, Charlie.
Well,
Sorry.
done
How
it.
are you
Oh
doing?
my God.
You do know some Spanish.
You know, I know little bits.
Like
Oh fuck, I'm on the spot now.
what was the
I'm trying to remember what I-
supermarket?
That's Macadona, right?
Yes. Mercadona.
Macadona.
Mercadona.
I remember trying to order oat lattes, but I can't remember what it is in Spanish.
Avena?
Avena. Oh yeah, Avena.
Avena.
Cafe latte Avena.
Yes,
There you go.
I'm bilingual. Sorry.
that's pretty good. Well, today so we have a special
Amazing.
episode.
Yeah.
Finally, we have a guest.
Exactly. Finally, we're doing an interview. Are
Yeah.
we? What are we gonna? So you have questions? I don't, but we'll figure it out.
The thing is, like, we've been thinking about you like for weeks, and then every
Yeah.
time we think about you, it's like, oh, we have to do an interview. So I thought like we could do like the bad cop and the good cop.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know who's gonna be the bad cop
I mean,
in
I
these
think
questions.
it's clear though.
It's clear it's gonna be you. So Yeah.
It's for sure.
so we have some questions,
Mhm.
some
Okay,
things
I'm
about
ready.
your life. And so Alba's gonna start.
I'm gonna start.
Yeah, and
Okay. Hi. What's your name?
we forgot your name.
My name. I'm Charlie. Hello.
Hello, Charlie. Yes. Yeah, you're a dear friend of ours.
Yes, I've known you guys
Uh,
probably must be 2.5 years now.
2.5 years?
I think
Yeah.
it's 2.5
Yeah, almost 3
years.
years,
Almost
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
3 years.
We met in May 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on your birthday.
Yeah, I met you
Yeah,
on your
on my
birthday.
birthday.
Very special
Wow.
day. Remote, and then eventually we're able to meet in person,
Yeah.
and it's been.
But I have to say, like, my relationship with you was stronger at the beginning
Yeah.
because
Mm.
then I don't know. I think we didn't have this connection before, you and me.
Not neither with her.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like
Mm.
we were like
I
separated.
feel like at the beginning you two were like super, super close.
Yeah.
And I feel like slowly like being like, yo, hello.
But the relationship got stronger when you left,
Yeah.
and then when you came back,
Yeah. Then it actually
was
like,
kind of like
flourished.
bloom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then it was like, all right, we're here for this.
Yeah,
And yeah, we were traveling together a year ago now,
yeah.
which is mad.
Which was amazing. It was like, I think, the best trip last year. Like, it was so great. No, it really
so
was.
Cute.
And like just being like with you guys, like, you know, like the locals, and got to show us around like the beautiful, I'm gonna pronounce it wrong
España.
again,
Viva España.
Fuerteventura.
Nice.
was pretty
There
good.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was honestly so lovely. It was like such a important moment at the end of last year, and being able to share it with you guys, and climbing a volcano, and just like, yeah, it was like one of the most, I think about that so fondly.
Fiery moments.
Yeah, and
Fiery
we didn't even go
moment.
to party or anything. Like we
No.
were just
No,
Like,
well,
and
apart from Alba drinking that
Yeah,
whole bottle
well,
of black vodka. And I will never not remember you just like being on that window, just like completely like your whole mouth was black. Like,
But it was so weird because you were taking a shower, I think, and then
Yeah.
I didn't know where Alba was for half an hour. I was with
I
my
was in the
girlfriend. We were
terrace.
Yeah,
watching
we
the
think we
TV,
lost you.
and then she came with the teeth all black.
it was
That
like a
is
squid ink.
Mercadona's. That is Mercadona's vodka. Black vodka. It's like €4.
But is it like a good one or? Because I don't
It's
know.
not. It's not. But it's €4, so everyone has it, and it's like it tastes really sweet, which is like my
Oh,
weak
God.
point, I guess. 'cause
Yeah.
All
Whatever
right,
tastes sweet.
And then your stories the
Bring
next
it
day
on.
about it. I mean, just
that's
Yeah, yeah. Just say that. Don't say
yeah,
anything
yeah.
else
You
on
can
tweet.
figure it out. But yeah, it was
Please.
it was a good holiday.
It
yeah.
was
no,
really
it was
nice.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go back in time now.
All right.
So we want to know a little bit more about you,
Okay.
where you come from, and yeah,
Nice.
a little bit of that. You are not from London. You're from.
I am from Surrey, the lovely British countryside, very classically.
Countryside.
Sorry, I know.
How would you describe? Sorry, in 3
Oh
words.
my gosh.
Yummy mummy and
Very. I mean, true facts.
Whoa.
Like
Whoa.
how would I describe it? Like quiet, beautiful,
Oh.
homely.
All right.
But
Yeah.
I think it's really nice, and it's one of the counties that surrounds London. Remember, I did ask you this
True,
question
yeah.
Yeah,
a while ago,
on the green belt. Mhm.
and he didn't even know. Sorry, and I was like,
No, I
really
didn't know.
Well, Surrey's pretty big,
I know the name, but
but it's somewhere where it's so. I feel very lucky to have grown up there and like been in the countryside and with nature, and it's a great place to like have a family and like. But then in terms of actually becoming like who you are as a person and identity, and like nothing beats London, and getting out of the countryside. Like there isn't that much to do. I mean, like during lockdown, I would go and visit the goats in my town, which is I
which
know
we
that
have
sounds
seen actually.
We've
no?
seen,
yes,
we've been
which
there,
I showed
so-
you guys, and I would just go there and just talk to them, and that was it. Like that's what I did every day in lockdown. Yeah, great times.
But it's so good because also it's very close to London, so you
Yeah.
have the chance in like 40-50 minutes to be in London, so it's really good to like develop yourself in that way as well.
would you think you will go back there once you get older, or?
Oh, I don't know. It's so lovely, and now I have such a greater respect for it when now I do live in London. When I get to go home, I really appreciate it more. And
But it's good for 2 days only.
well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, because then I get restless because right now I'm so about like I just want to do stuff all the time, and here there's so much you can do and things to offer and be around everyone. And I don't know if I need that quiet or just to be with my family, and I miss my dog and like to go there. But I don't know, maybe in my future I'd go somewhere in the country. I feel like my roots are always going to be there, so I'll probably end up going back one day. Yeah, maybe not back exactly where I live. I don't know. I want to try something else probably.
Nice, good.
And a different country, or?
Countryside.
No, I mean like a different
well, I
country.
don't know,
Would
like
you live in a different
outside.
country?
I feel like I really resonate with like that Scandi kind of like
Ooh, she's moving.
I visited Copenhagen last year, and I just feel like it's so me. Like everything about it, I still think about it. I'm still looking on Airbnb about wanting to go
Really?
there next year, like for a trip, because I felt so like myself. I don't know. I love all about that. Like so, like maybe Denmark or I don't know. But then I used to have a dream that I would go and live in New York when I wanted to study film more and make films.
Oh, we are New York girls.
You know,
I
and
am
go there.
generally I'm visiting the world and then I'll visit New York. I'm not.
That would be the last one, yeah?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Then now I love London. Like I feel like London. I don't know. I really do see myself here for a really long time. But then it would be amazing to live abroad. I don't know. I have to see where life takes me.
Yeah. Nice. Interesting.
You have any other question about
What?
the place?
What place?
Her place?
You guys have been there. You've been to
The
my place.
countryside.
Yeah.
No, I think I
country.
really like it, and I think definitely when like you have a different life in like 20 years or so, and you feel like the country will be a better place to be for sure. You can go back or go somewhere in the countryside. Like even me, I've been thinking about moving like to another city, a smaller city, or to the countryside. So that is always in the cards. But then I think about being surrounded by people and being doing this and that, and it's like, oh, London has me in that sense.
But almost like the traveling is like 40 minutes, no? From Surrey to London.
Yeah, I think mentally though it's
a lot.
very different. Like I think because I commuted a lot, and but you know when you live outside London, your sort of nightlife, your social life really stops at like 10 p.m.
Yeah, only the goats, and that's it.
Yeah, I only have the goats with me. That's it. So, and even though I was close, I always felt like I was just out of reach from it, and like what that life could be. And I think when I moved this year, especially, it was like this transformative time where I feel like I've grown more into like who Charlie is and my identity, and being able to do things I've always wanted to do, and just having that freedom and that full independence that I knew I outgrew when I was at home. I was like, it's time. Like I need to see, becoming around. But I think for you guys, the definition of what home is quite different.
There's no definition. It's so
we don't have that. I think.
Flexible.
Yeah. Well, you have more than me, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think
home.
you have a place to go home or something like that. Even though I haven't lived in that physical place for a long time. I haven't lived in that
But
place.
still you have your room, yeah? Kind of like you still have your...
No, but it's not that same house. It's a different flat. So my mom bought that flat like 3 years ago when I was already living in London. So I don't have my childhood room. I don't have that. Yeah, it's tricky. I have a place to like go back and come home, even though I don't feel it. And I think the more I travel and the more I meet new people and the more I meet people that are all over the world, the sense of calling home is not. I don't know
It's
what
not
it
there,
is.
no.
Well,
It
home is
just
really
goes-
where you make it.
Yeah.
It's almost like the people you're around. Like I
Yeah.
have a different sense of home where, especially with friendship, I feel like I find that really homely, and you can. It's not home isn't just like a physical thing. It's also like a feeling of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like the more I meet people in different parts of the world, the more
Your
my
heart
sense of
is-
home is like
The
everywhere.
world.
Yeah, like that
It's
one
like,
place you
fuck.
can always fall back on and be like,
Yeah.
nah, this is like my home, my
Yeah.
comfort, like
Yeah.
my safe space.
And on that basis of the relationships and home, you have a really special relationship with your family.
Oh yeah, I would say.
I
yeah,
feel
I would
I
say
feel like you
so.
have a really connection that I don't have, and maybe other people will not have. I feel like you have a strong connection with your family. I want to know if that comes from education at home, or it's something that has become bigger over time when you get older. Because you talk to your father a lot, you go home a lot, and you are spending time. You have an open relationship with them, I think.
Yeah, I think when I grew up, it was always very much us four: my dad, my mum, and my sister. And we kind of, I never, I haven't grown up with my cousins, not really my aunts and my uncles. It's always been us as this like 4 unit, really my whole life. And my dad's always really, I mean, he's like my biggest inspiration ever. You met him, I'm obsessed with him. But he always sort of told me and my sister that, like, us four, like, we can always rely on each other. Like, this is our unit. And so I haven't had this sort of big, wide family. And I think from that, it means that we are closer. And I think it kind of went through waves. I feel even closer now to my dad now that I am kind of moved out. Like, I always will call him a lot more, and for any advice, like, he is really like the number one person that I go to. While my sister, I think, sort of resonates more with my mum.
Yeah.
And I always resonated a lot more with my dad. We're basically like the same. Yeah, we are the same person. A lot of like my sort of best attributes come from my dad directly. Like, I wouldn't be me without my dad and everything that he sort of like instilled into me growing up. And yeah, so I think a lot of that is just that feeling of, we've always had each other. So our relationship's always been quite close because of that. Like, I've never had I only knew one of my grandparents. Like, it's all been so tight knit.
Yeah, like more family.
Yeah, and I think that's what sort of bred that to happen, really. But yeah, my dad, he's like my biggest inspiration for sure.
That's amazing.
They're so cute and so unlike us.
This is what our family should be like, like, fuck yeah, I'm learning so much today. But as well, because you are really an artist, and we know that you love art, but your father is really artist as well. So you think your father is the one to blame that you are into art that much?
Oh, I mean, yeah, since I grew up, even like with the one sort of grandparent I knew, like, we would always, she was a ceramic and painted and sort of things. And yeah, my dad was an artist, and then went to work at the Royal Academy. And so since I was basically straight out the womb, I was going to art shows and galleries, and I know it's an incredibly lucky like world I got thrown into, and I owe it everything to like how my brain works, and everything is about this. But yeah, since I was a kid, like, the way, I don't know, my dad would always bond with us is, we would draw and we would paint. And when I would have school parties, we'd all come together and we'd all paint in our garden, and we'd all always do something creative. And yeah, he always really it encouraged me and my sister to do that. And I think it was so natural that then we both wanted to go into something more creative, because it was just, unlike some people that I think going into like creative industries was sort of frowned upon, they fully just encouraged it. Because, I mean, he was an artist himself, and things like that. So 100% him. Like, when he was at art school, he used to paint and draw, and he used to do a lot of life drawing. So one of the first things I did when I moved here is I wanted to go life drawing, because I wanted to feel like closer to him. And every time I would do it, I would then show him my sketches, because I kind of wanted some approval that they were good.
Who doesn't, Like,
because he's so good.
Do you like it?
Yeah, please say they're good. And he would always say, oh yeah, they're like Henry Moore sculptures, or like, he would always like compliment them. And I don't know, that always made me feel really good. And I always said to him, like, I want to go life drawing with you. I feel like that would be.
Have you never been live drawing together?
No, well, he doesn't really come to London that much now. Now he's retired.
I think you should do it.
But I would love to, because he would always sketch me growing up, and I would try and sketch him, and it was just something that we always did together. So I don't know, like when I think about home, I do think art and activities like that remind me of home a lot. So
Because even at my house, I have one of the piece of art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In case your
it.
father sees this, I want his approval.
And that it was the trip that we did
Yeah.
last year.
So
in
yeah, this is
Fuerteventura.
from when one of the beautiful moments we had. We went up this volcano, and
Yeah.
I took some inspiration from some photos we took, and this is all of us, so Sheila, Brandon, Alba, and I, and I just wanted to immortalize that moment because it was just unreal. So yeah,
And it's beautiful,
So
mate.
cute.
Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, and then I saw it like 3 months later, and I was like, "What is this? My drone shot in a painting?" I was like, "What?"
And the best part is that you mix both things because this is like vinyl.
yeah, it's
So
it's
you
like
mix the music with the painting.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
And you've made a lot more of them, no?
Yeah,
I did over
You used to
over
do a lot
lockdown.
more.
I used to take like commissions, so I used to sort of sell them and make custom
And
paintings.
how do you connect with the clients, or like how did you?
I used to just share it on my Instagram, and
Oh,
and then people
wow.
would DM me, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'd like this," and I'd be like, "Cool, yeah, let me paint it." And it was so much fun. Now, like, I wish I had the time to paint. It's still like my favorite thing to do, I think,
Yeah,
but it's just it's harder to find the time to do
Yeah.
it.
London,
London,
the
but
good and bad of
yeah.
London, I guess.
But doing stuff like that is like, I find doing that really special, and I want to do it more.
Well, now you're going to drawing classes every week.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah, I try and go at least once a month or a couple of times, and I also go with our other mate Andrea as well, and I find it's such a nice way to just connect with people and talk, and especially me as someone who's like, I'm quite a perfectionist, as you guys all know.
Nah.
Are you?
Oh my god. So what I love about it is it challenges me to, like, I can never finish a drawing, I can never be that sort of perfect about it, and I love embracing like how all my drawings are so unfinished, and I can't draw hands or faces, so I never do them.
But that's normal.
So and because of that, it's like there's 2 hours where I just completely quiet my mind. I just draw, like I just focus on the form and sketching, and I find it so relaxing, and like it like enriches my soul, and it just calms all that sense of like, oh, what's going on, I just draw and that's it. And it's not like it has to be perfect or great,
Perfect,
it's just for me. So
That's amazing.
that's what art is therapy.
It's in your blood.
In some
Yeah,
form,
it
it is, and I think everyone should.
Totally.
It doesn't matter about skill. It should just have a journal and draw. Like it's why people journal when they write. It's the same thing. It's like
Yeah,
therapy.
Yeah, well, we did one episode in which you and me we talk about like what is art, and art is everything.
That was like
Long time ago.
first season, like when Charlie was there.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well, in
and
my
like
previous
everybody
place. Yeah,
do art,
yeah,
anything
definitely. I think
is-
it's the way you resolve problems
Yeah.
as well. Yeah,
and then
that is so
just
cool.
I want to have my last question from this one. Then I'll
No,
let you
no,
I'll let
you're
you go on.
You're good.
Because you did art,
Mhm.
and then fuck yeah, Alba,
Sorry.
is a fly or what? Because you did art, and I think you study as well, but
I
then
did.
you moved to modeling,
Oh yeah.
which is kind of like how
Yeah. Look.
how is that?
Well, okay. So I mean, I love photography. It's kind of like the other art form I would say that I partake in, and I, and a lot of it was also like I would be, because I love photography and I had myself and I'd want to create these images. I'd be like, okay, I'll just be the subject. Like it'll be like self portraits. But then at uni, I fell into doing it a lot. I was at the Uni of York, and I sort of fell into their modeling scene, and I did quite a lot of cool things. I wore this £5 million dress
Really?
covered in diamonds. Yeah, £5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
Why? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
we never knew this.
Why? How did? Why,
I
how
really
did
never
they give it
shared
to
this
you?
story.
I think you've mentioned
Never to
it.
me.
Really?
No, I don't know anything
So
about it.
Were you
basically-
actually that close? I don't think you were.
right.
Sorry.
Well,
go on,
I
Charlie.
could send you a photo so you could maybe show it, but it basically was for this designer called Scott Henschel, and it was his kind of comeback show, part of York Fashion Week, and it was like my first runway show I ever did. And I was
So
wearing
you did
this.
the runway with
yeah,
the dress.
Yeah, I had to wear this dress, first ever one, and it's like it was first one of the Spider-Man premiere, so it's like a spiderweb dress covered in diamonds.
Oh my.
Yeah, I really peaked way too soon because I've never like I've
From
never
there, it's
really
like,
I've never matched that since. But yeah, I did that. But then so then from that I just did more shows and modeling, and then when I graduated, I thought, oh, like I always thought I was gonna go straight into work, like I was gonna find a job, but then I got signed to an agency, and I just thought, why not just for a year, have fun, see where it goes, like do all of this. So then I did, and I did London Fashion Week and editorials, all the rest of it.
She's dropping the things like it's nothing.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I mean, I did shows with like MTV and like all these things, and I saw an
All
experience.
right, let's shut down the cameras. We don't have budget for this. All right.
Yeah, no, I did a lot of really cool things and met a lot of cool people, and from that world, there's a lot of like models I met who I'm still friends with. And then COVID happened. So a lot of that kind of my 21st year, all those things got kind of like squashed, and then modeling, the industry would just, it just wasn't happening anymore. But I always knew it was just this hobby. I really see it as like this creative outlet again. So I was like, no, I'm going to go and I want to build my career, but it's always something I want. It's like this hobby and something I do on the side. And that's what I do now. It's like, I guess it's modeling, but I don't know. I just create fun pictures by myself, and everything I do is for me, like I would just take these pictures and
we
be
all
like,
do the same, so.
And then that's it, just because I like it and everything together in the fashion and art, and that's what I do now. But yeah, so it's not like every so often I'll still do some things freelance and things, but I don't know, it was a fun time. Yeah,
I mean, I have a question, but for sure you have the same one.
I mean, what? What's your question? Go on. You have the same one. For sure, we're reading each other's minds.
Oh my god! No, but like, how do you get to be a model?
Oh yeah, that was the question.
How?
Yeah. But like, give us like 5 things that people could do now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the industry is so saturated. So you do have to think outside the box. So how I did it is I took all my images, and instead of just applying to agencies with Polaroids, headshots, I made it my entire like website.
Whoa!
I used to have www.charliecowap.com.
Wow.
Still up or?
No, it's not there anymore. I had to let that side. No, I don't think it is. And I used it as like a portfolio. So yeah, maybe now check. And then I made it like a portfolio website. And then I just sent that all to agencies. And then I remembered I was on the drive to Glastonbury 2019. And that's when I got the call from the agency I was with at the time, who wanted to come meet me. And then I met them, and then I just got signed that day.
Wow.
And that was it.
Wow.
But it's perseverance.
The same that you have now?
So now my agent was with that agency, and then went and made his own agency. So, But I really like him, and I like him as an agent. So I was like, yeah, because all my work now, it's all just on the side, like what I can do alongside my full-time job. And he totally gets that. So that's the thing. A lot of it is you don't need to be signed. You can just make it big on Instagram and reach out to things. Or, I used to get jobs, people like brands would slide into my DMs, and I'd shoot content for them and things like this. But I think if you want an agency, you've got to just think outside the box. I mean, this was back before TikTok. Like, I can't even imagine anyone can do it. So it's just, I see a lot of like model scouts now on TikTok where you literally will just post a video on TikTok, tag the agency, and then they might sign you.
Wow.
So it's just a whole different industry now.
What are the videos about?
Like, it would just be the classic, like, here's my, name, age, profile, side thing. Do like a self-tape, which I still find so awkward when I have to do them now. I swear, I didn't even told you guys, like, I had a couple of like months ago, I had to do an audition where, again, I was having to just dance in front of people in a room.
I'm still waiting for that video you told me to.
Yeah, you haven't showed us yet.
What video?
The dancing.
You told
one.
us you made the video.
Well, no, I didn't get the job. I didn't get in the music video.
Didn't you have to make something on camera?
You have to make the tape. Yeah.
Oh yes, but like I'll never ever show you guys that self tape ever. It is so. Oh my god, no! It's so bad. Like because the thing is, I would like audition for music videos, adverts, all of that as well. And like taking pictures is very different than like talking. I'm so shy when it comes to that. I do not like being on video. Like I find it so different. Yeah. So I can't even like listen back to those self tapes. I would just.
You won't even watch this podcast.
No, maybe not. I'd be like, oh god, I'd cringe and be like, fuck, why'd I do that?
But yeah, I in one of my freelance stuff that I'm doing now, it's also stills and video with models, and it's completely different. They can be great at stills and horrible with video.
Software for them as well.
Yeah, because it's the fluidity of things, and sometimes they don't flow between poses.
It's a whole different skill.
Yeah. Agreed.
You think you're good at everything at modeling?
No, oh my god, no.
No,
No.
It's a serious question. What's your?
Oh my
You think
god.
you're perfect.
No.
I think
You're a perfectionist, so I believe
well, yeah, I am.
What
but
do you
I-
like the most of modeling? Hand modeling? You like?
Oh god, no. I like editorials. I like kind of emulating a character almost. I love just putting on amazing clothes. There were some shoots where I got to wear like these beautiful ball gowns, and I felt like an elf, and that's what I want to be always. like
An elf?
an
All
elf.
right.
Or like yeah, like I used to love that kind of work. I would find runway so stressful. Like you would get there and you would be there for like hours and hours and hours. Like your call would be 11, but the show would be at like 7 p.m. And you just be there that early and you just have to be in hair and makeup and you sit and you wait. And then, yeah, stereotypically, they never provide you any food or anything. So you're just like there.
No way.
Yeah, 100%. Like there are so many
You
shows
faint.
I went to where like you just, yeah, you don't. And then you go out and you have to walk in these insane heels. These like, you know, sometimes they can be quite intricate like dresses and clothing. And then you just have to walk and have all these eyes staring at you. And I find that like it would make me I would get really anxious every time I did it. And I knew like this isn't my kind of area. I don't. Some people they like thrive off of that attention, like being the one in the room. And I think I'm quietly confident in some settings, but in those situations, like I would just be like, oh, thank God it's open. I didn't fall. I didn't trip. I didn't make like
yeah.
like I
didn't
was
make the scene.
terrified that I would fall every time. But yeah, so I didn't do that much.
And you have to do like this kind of thing.
Oh, to like try and get the cheap
Yeah,
rate.
yeah.
Oh. I mean, like I think you would try, but honestly, when I look back on like some of my runways will go on like Elle, you know, like the magazine, like the pictures would go up on there. But every time you're like, okay, this is the pose I'm gonna do, and you get there and it just like fucking like it's all gone. Like you have no idea.
gone.
You're just trying to get through. Like you're just like, please take a picture and hope I didn't blink. Like that's all you hope for, really. But no, I mean it was really fun. Like I still loved the experience and doing it, being part of that world. But it's different now, you know. Now it's just a hobby. It's my passion project. It's what I do to keep sane.
So if you could decide between modeling or being a producer or being an artist, what would be the thing?
God.
You have to choose only one.
I feel like artist encompasses everything.
Kind of,
Yeah,
but
like
your
what kind of
job
an
is kind of
artist?
different. Where would you like to get the money from?
Yeah.
Oh God. I feel like I still would choose producer because I think when I would be reliant on modeling for money, it would change how I felt about it. And it got rid of the fun, the enjoyment. Like when your hobbies then become your like side hustle, it does take away any sense of that like fulfillment, that creative outlet. So I would, you know, I for most of the time I did it because I wanted to be like 70 and look back at everything I did in those pictures and be like, wow, like you did that. Like that was cool. Like you did it. And it wasn't like there was this pressure to, you know, pay rent or anything. And I feel like it's best to separate those. Well, like I love producing, but I like the fact that what I see as art, I keep separate and it's mine. It's no one else's. It's you know, I can't lose it in a day. Like it's always going to be there because it's always with me. So
Agreed.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I think that's why I've been struggling work wise, because if what I love doing is what pays rent, it's tricky, isn't it?
It is. But that's why YouTubers and all these people that work on that, after 4 years or 3 years, they just have this. They're over. They don't know what to do with their life.
It's like burnt out.
burnt out.
You need to find something else.
Yeah, you need to. That's why they grow.
That's why what?
They grow into other things, and then you don't know what they are
things.
doing, or they go to work in a coffee shop, which is a normal.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. What was that noise? I think it's
I know. There's been quite a few different noises
Yeah,
in
I
your
think my
place
neighbor
today.
is bringing some people over.
Oh,
I'm trying to get in on this interview.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I'm talking about having people over.
Oh my God.
But I from that I think like having the eyes on you is something that, for example,
Oof.
Alba
I cannot.
suffers a lot, but she has improved a lot. Because the first time we did the podcast, that was kind of like one of her things to get over. Like you wanted to learn how to deal with that. And I remember you will look into the videos every single time and like, oh, I don't like this, cut that. Now,
Yeah, now it's like I don't mind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I feel nervous for this, even though I take loads of pictures and like I'm comfortable with that. But it's because the moving image is so different. Hearing yourself speak, when you see mannerisms of yourself that you're not used to seeing all the time, like I get like that's really it makes me really nervous. But then I'm like, fuck it, whatever, it's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
Like we're here, we're having fun.
Yeah, true. I like it.
It's all, but it's exposure therapy. You gotta like just
exactly. You just have to do it.
You just have to look at it over and over and over again. My friends who would make YouTube videos, they said that like when they first started editing themselves, they would hate it. Yeah. Like they would see everything, all the flaws of themselves, and then over time they would just like, nah, it's fine. You just get used to seeing.
I think
yourself.
I never had that in my life.
Wow.
The flaws were the ones that I like the most because I wanted to laugh of me. Like when I started doing videos, like when I was like 14, 13, I loved that. Like the mistakes was for me kind of like the best thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
you're weird.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
A lot of people look at themselves and are like, what?
Yeah.
Even like hearing your own voice, like a voice note or something.
The voice I didn't like. I think I changed my voice when I was a teenager because I didn't like my.
I think not just puberty.
Not just puberty. I think more than that because it's just I would listen to because I was on stage on the mic and I didn't like my voice. I was sounding like really like a little too high. So I was kind of like, I need to learn how to.
Hello, guys.
So I trained how to talk deeper.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean,
crazy.
I used to, me and my mates would make a lot of videos and vlogs when I was like 11, 12, 13 that are all on YouTube. They're private though.
Oh, come on.
But we used to make music videos and like short stories and horror films. And I look back at those when I was like 11, 12, 13 and I'm not embarrassed by them. I love them. Like I look back at that version of me and I'm like, you're so dorky and like cringy and like and I love that. But if I look back at myself like 2 years ago, then I start getting really
you
like
need to
embarrassed.
More.
You need time for like the nostalgia, you know, sinks in, and then I'm like, okay, no, she's detached from who I am instead of like now. So yeah, like oh my god, like that's like why did I do that? Like I will think about things that I said like a year ago and still cringe about them now. You know, I feel like you
really
don't you relate on that?
No, I mean I used to. Now I don't really care.
I'm an overthinker though.
Yeah, we know.
So I will, but then it reaches that point where you're just like, you pass the threshold now. You look back, you laugh, you joke about everything.
And that's it.
I feel like I edit myself every week now, so I'm fine. I don't care. And when I see people, I'm like, look at this video that I took.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
When I went to Spain last time, people like my family, they watch my videos, but of course everything that I do is in English, and some of them speak English, some of them. But one thing, there was an event and there were like more than 20 people there, and the people, my family was asking like, in Spanish, love your videos, you know, but I don't understand the fuck you're saying, but I love them. You have to do one in Spanish, you know? They're like,
well, we just did the intro.
Maybe.
Yep.
So yeah, but like one question I wanted to ask you, because in modeling, do you get the chance to work with different nationalities? Or this is the first time you have friends that are from outside?
No, when I grew up, a lot of my friends, I knew that they came when I was growing up. You know, some friends that I've known, some of them for like 14 years at this point, some of my longest friends. At school, we're from like Indonesia, or I had a lot of friends, European friends now. I mean, I would say growing up, the annoying thing about growing up in Surrey is that it's very sheltered from other cultures.
Yeah.
Which I hate. I'm, you know, very much against everything that, you know, you would stereotypically think about Surrey. And so I think what I loved about London, and especially with my schools, I chose to go to a school very far away from me, so that I could meet more people and be exposed to different cultures and like people with different sexualities and identities, which I also encountered in being in the arts as well, which I loved. I feel like it made your brain so much more open to how wonderful the world and people can be. But I would definitely say even at uni, it wasn't so much. I think in my sort of career, my working world is when I've been able to work and know personally way more people that have different backgrounds to me, different nationalities. And I love it. I feel like you bring so much to each other. One of my favorite things ever is explaining all my phrases to you, Alba. And
got a lot.
All my Cockney slang, like spend a penny, which is my favorite.
Spend a penny, paint the town red.
Paint the town red.
There is a song about it.
Yeah, it's like about stealing my phrase.
Yeah. No, she a devil.
Oh.
Paint the town red.
Doja Cat.
Yeah.
And even now, like with my my flatmate, and she's French, we will each other be like, oh, did you not have this growing up? Or I'll say something because you'll look at me and I'll be like, oh shit, this means this, because I would have said some weird phrase that I always do. And we like learn from each other, and I love that. Like I love hearing more about other things and other people's way of how they grew up and like what they were into. And so no, but especially in modeling, I didn't come across that many sort of people who were that different.
Yeah, I feel like
which
models,
was a shame.
Yeah, I feel like models are international, but being a model, you don't necessarily talk to other models as much.
Could be. You think it's like a close game?
Team.
Oh, it's very cliquey. Like I mean, I had a couple of mates who were at my agency that I I'm still mutual with now. But I remembered we would go to like London Fashion Week. I think it's at Somerset House, but they have this model place where if you're walking a show, you get to go and you get to have free massages, spas, and things.
No way.
Yeah, if you just do a show. So we would go there, and I would remember we just be with each other, and everyone else was just like so by themselves, like very much just focused on them. And no one was really that open to like talk and just have a laugh. I don't know. It was a very serious environment. And like, I'm not very serious when it comes to like I want to just have a joke.
But you think it's because they were like enemies? They see people like enemy? I
mean, I think when you get big in it, I think a lot of them would recognize each other from shows, and then there would be this like competition of I want to book that show. That's nice. Because it's like I would go to castings, which are probably the most how do I explain it? Like, what's the word for him?
Oh, the slang. Here we go.
How do I explain it in a British fashion that doesn't
the
say
old British.
It was crap. It just says it was, not ideal.
But probably the most like demoralizing experience, because you basically would just turn up there and now it's different. Like I've been to castings recently, and you get to be a lot more of like you're an individual. Like they're looking at you as a person. But you would go to these and you'd have to all wear like black skinny jeans, a black tank top, black heels, you have your book, and you would go to these castings and there would be, I don't know, 100+ girls all just like standing outside going for like the exact same job. And all these people are like...
And for how many people would they hire?
Oh, I don't know. For like a runway, maybe like 30. But there'll be like 100+ there. And it'll be this time slot. Sometimes you wouldn't even get in. And when you would get in, all you would do would kind of be like... you would just walk up, walk back, give them a piece of paper with your face on it, and then you would leave.
Wow.
And I remember
wild.
And you felt really like, whoa, I'm like a sheep, like this, and I think I also found that a bit difficult near the end, where it does play with your own sense of confidence. And I remember going into these castings, being surrounded by like beautiful, like incredible, like male, female, like just the most beautiful people ever, and you'd be like, wow, I feel like an imposter here, like I don't, like this just doesn't feel right. And I think that's why also I wanted to like bring it back to myself, where it's like I don't need someone else to really validate that experience. Even though like if you didn't get jobs, it wasn't, most of the time it's like they're looking for very specific things. But even in a way, it can hit a lot of people's confidence, and so I think people don't like to make friends. A lot of them. My experience of it, really, they didn't.
Great.
It's very competitive.
Yeah. I think they are friends when they are big. Like Ada Lavigne is friends with Heidi Klum, and because they are big.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. All of
when
them.
When they are famous and they have
it,
money, they made it. Yeah. As you said, this is the thing.
Like it could be so glamorous, but for the most part, it isn't. I think it's better to really just be freelance, do it yourself. Especially because you can meet so many creators now, where you can go and make your own shoots and get them in magazines yourself. Like you don't even need like a team. You can just do it.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Very nice.
I have a friend who's trying to do that.
Really?
A photographer, yeah.
It's cool.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah. No, you should. It's cool because you can just submit to any magazine an editorial feature, and then they might publish it, and then you're put in a published magazine. It's really cool.
Yeah, and then
you've paid for it yourself, so it's great.
Yeah, trade for prints, as we call it. Yeah,
it's sad, but it's like that. I mean, I'm not a model, obviously.
Well,
I could be.
You could be.
Yeah, 100%.
But I've been like close-ish to the model world.
Yeah,
I've worked in the fashion week as well. I work for like, e-commerce brands where models are involved quite a bit, and it's not a great world. And they also like they are not feeling well themselves. Like sometimes it just gets to your head a lot, and it's not ideal. Yeah,
I've met a few big model like
Yeah.
big models, and I have to say that none of them were. They were not really like really welcoming or things like that. You know,
Yeah, they just used to like this
it's
almost
not
like
their fault.
people in London. They just like do their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, it's not ideal.
Oh, I think
ideal
now
at all.
though with TikTok, it's even more important now you have a personality along with modeling.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of like models who I follow because they're so funny, like their content's
Yes.
so great, and then they do modeling, and through their TikTok, that's how they actually book their jobs.
Yeah.
It's not just because of their
Crazy.
modeling; it's because of their personality. Like TikTok changed the entire game. Like if I wanted to do it now, like I would probably have to really start putting myself out there as like a personality, which I just not do. I'm a bit too shy and reserved for that.
You could
But
do it. Yeah.
you would have to invest so much time into building yourself as a brand. And I think that's the other thing about it is I found modeling interesting in the sense where you would have to kind of be like, how much am I worth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think freelancers as well, you might experience
Yeah.
this. How much do you worth your own talent, your own ability? And for modeling, it's like, God, how much do I almost put on like your appearance? Or like,
Yeah.
I would find that very difficult. And I remembered I'd always like undercharge myself, and my model friends would be like, "Why are you charging that?" Like, and I'm like, "Well, I don't know. Like, it's how you view yourself. Like,
Yeah, like,
am
if-
I worth this much or this much?" And it's like, how do you grasp
Or
that?
if you like go to a shoot and you realize that the person next to you gets paid double what you're paid, and it's like, oh, am I only worth this much? Then like, well,
It gets into your head as well, because it goes to
Yeah.
us as well.
It's
It's in
crazy.
any job you have that. If
yeah.
yeah.
underpaid, makes you think.
Woo! Love that.
Yeah.
Oh well, I think it's time.
I mean, it's time. Yeah, we've
Thank
been
you
for
so
45
much.
minutes talking.
Oh my God,
so
wow,
that's-
that
45 is
actually
gonna
went
be a
really
long
quickly.
episode. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize it's gonna be so like model focused. It's kind of
I
I
was
hardly ever talk about
no,
it now.
actually, I think we had more questions.
Yeah,
like,
we had
we
more
talk about
questions.
different things, but we didn't have the chance.
It was
like,
really interesting because I didn't know
Yeah,
a lot of things from
exactly.
you, from the modeling.
Well, I don't. It's a part of my life I don't really chat or think about that much now. It was a couple of years ago, but yeah, no, it's fun to
Wow.
like reminisce about it. And I could, I could send you some things you could put on. It'd be interesting.
Fire.
Nice. Well, thank you so
Thank you
much.
for coming.
Charlie.
Yeah,
It's been
thank
lovely.
you. It's been so cute doing this with you guys.
I mean, we need to like do an extended version of the interview or something.
Yeah, I
like,
think so. Yeah, maybe, who knows?
Who knows?
part two.
Part 2, yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe for
Because
part two.
the episode.
Look, she knows to do the outro better
fuck.
than you.
I'm a pro. This is what I do.
Because we, in this interview, we went up to like 21, kind of. From 21 to now.
Yeah, I
Because
guess.
you're
Yeah,
eight.
yeah. Since I
You come-
graduated
yeah,
to
yeah,
now,
So until
Yeah.
that, so the part 2 would be kind of like going forward,
the future.
future.
What the future holds.
Very scary.
Yeah.
Scary. No, I can't wait.
Maybe we talk
Yeah, I'm so
relationships
ready.
or we talk
Alright.
things.
Yeah, bring it.
Bring it on.
Do the
Outro.
outro, please.
Thank you guys for listening or watching anywhere near you. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Make Up a Story podcast with your hosts, Alba, Brandon, and special guest, Charlie.
All right, that's it.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
We're going to be using that now at the end all the time. And when I cut that. Thank you for watching.
Wow. Podcast.